What happens when change comes out of nowhere? When the direction you were headed in suddenly changes? For most people, the feeling of wasted time, confusion, and disappointment becomes the next challenge to overcome. This is a result of not knowing how the hand of the Lord works in our lives. Proverbs 16:9 says, "A man deviseth his way, but God directs his path," which means we sometimes make plans for ourselves that are not in alignment with what God has planned for us. When that happens, God often comes as He promises to realign us. The problem is, many often see realignment as a form of punishment when it's a blessing of the Lord in effect. In some cases, people find themselves contending with God for what they wanted and become stuck in a battle of realignment. But that's another topic for another day. I found myself in realignments all throughout my life. There were many things that I wanted to do and many things that others wanted me to do, and I would find that no matter how good I thought a thing was or how earnestly someone else wanted a thing from me, if it wasn't God, it wouldn't matter. After a while, I began to realize that I couldn't go down every road. I couldn't take every path, and I started to ask God what it was that He wanted me to do. Sometimes I would feel down on myself when God was taking me off a path that wasn't purpose, until I began to see the beauty and the blessings of realignment, that God has specific plans for my life, that He had formed me in my mother's womb and called me by name, and that the realignment wasn't about who I wasn't, but it was about who I was. That my own plans were at war with my purpose, and that God, in His love and mercy, loved me so much that He wouldn't let His plans go unfulfilled. Consider the children of Israel. They had to leave what they knew in Egypt before they could enter promise. Freedom required transition, transition required discomfort, and discomfort often feels like you're back at square one, but they weren't going backwards, they were being repositioned. Many times we resist change because of pride. We don't want to relearn, we don't want to rebuild, and we don't want to admit that what we were doing is no longer sustainable. Yet God will allow a reset to protect your future, because a foundation cracked, ignored today becomes a collapse later. Sometimes He will shift you so that you will learn what you skipped. In Isaiah 43:19 it says, "The Lord says, behold, I am doing a new thing." Notice He does not say, "I am repairing the old thing." He says new. God is not limited to restoring what was. He can create what has never existed in your life before. Doing things God's way requires humility. It requires trust, and it requires obedience in small things. But small does not mean insignificant. Seeds look small before they become trees. Obedience is the beginning stages determining the strength of what comes next. If God is shifting you in your ministry, your career, or your personal life, do not despise the reset. The same God who was with you the first time is with you now. Realignment is not the end of your story. It may be the beginning of the most refined, focused, and fruitful season of your life. Starting over is not the evidence that God left you. It's often the evidence that He is restructuring something. So don't despise the change. If you feel the shift, if you know that God is realigning you, don't despise it. Embrace it. Until next time.